So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. Okay, Rockstar Nation, we have a great guest today, actually a returning guest. Mr. Jesse Zagorsky is on the line from San Diego, California. He is rocking things out there, and he is always great to catch up with and chat with about all things real estate. So, Jesse, welcome back to Real Estate Rockstars.
Thanks, Pat. Good to be back, man.
Hey, buddy, why don't you give everybody a little rundown on yourself so they can get to know you better?
Awesome. I am a team leader from San Diego, California. I like long walks on the beach, unicorns, horses, and no, I'm kidding. If those of you watching the video, Pat didn't even smile at that. That was just like, whatever you want to say, man.
I was taking a sip of water. Yeah. And I thought maybe you're serious. I'm like, oh,
not a chance. I mean,
some people are into unicorns and fairies and stuff, and they collect them. I have a sister who collects them, you know. So.
Like the little knickknacks, like the little statue thing?
Yeah.
My wife would probably kill me if I came home with a bunch of random statues of unicorns and fairies. We just tried to get rid of and downsize everything in our life. That's a whole nother story. Actually, that's part of my intro. I've been doing real estate for 15 years. I took the year 2013 to 2014 off, the entire year off. I moved to Thailand. Did absolutely nothing for an entire year, lived on passive income, came back with more money than I left with. And when I got back in 2014, I tried to decide what I wanted to be when I grew up and decided to start my team again. So my team is currently 10 agents here in San Diego. We just broke $1 million in GCI last week, and I know you hate GCI. You're an ECI sort of guy, but it's the number people talk about. Like I could care less about the GCI. I know it's more about net. We can get deep into that, but it's just a metric so people can put a frame of reference for what sort of units are you selling. And my goal is to scale the team. So we're at 10 now. One inside salesperson. We'll be at 21 agents in the next couple months. From there, I don't know how big we're going to go. It's not about size just for the sake of size. It's about finding the right people and training them and retaining them. And if we continue growing bigger, then great.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it. Cool. Yeah. Well, cool. All right. So a couple of things. First of all, what is your net profit on the $1 million?
We're probably running right around 4 to 450. So about 40 to 45% margin to bottom line.
That is very good. Very good. And we're going to get into how in a minute. The second thing was, I had another question. I had to do with Thailand. Yeah, I'm planning a trip actually to Thailand with GoBundance, my men's business fraternity, and I have to get with you, I guess, after the show. Maybe get some advice. I actually have a call at 4:00 today to discuss it with the travel person. So.
Oh, no way. Oh, yeah. I will. I spent an entire year living there. I will happily give you some. I mean, the travel agent will tell you certain places to go, and with a big group of people like GoBundance, there's certain places they will probably gravitate towards. However, I can definitely give you the ins and outs. Of some of
when
that.
We hang up, we won't drag the people down with that here, but
we can make them jealous though for a minute. So you want to go to Thailand with a bunch of ballers? That sounds like fun. Anyway, go ahead, Pat.
All right, cool. So all right, so basically you kind of got back in the business, right? You had to like start over again, and in the last say 3 years, you've started over again and built it to where it is today. Let's talk a little bit about that. How did you do that? Like, what'd you do the first day to kind of be like, okay, I'm back?
I started buying leads. Really. I mean, truly, that was because I came into this with some capital, because I had still some income streams. The quickest way to scale a business is through purchasing online leads, because if you want more leads, you just cut a bigger check. And if you don't have if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have money, well, then go do open houses. Do something that doesn't take a lot of income. But if you have the capital, I started buying leads, and I've started buying some from Zillow and some from Realtor.com. And I quickly in that first year realized that I was getting a much better return. I mean, last time I was on the show, we talked more Zillow. This time I'm getting a much better return from Realtor.com. So I switched all my spend over to Realtor.com and then just scaled up from there.
So let me slow you down there. So why is that?
why am I getting a better return?
I mean, is it just your advice is to people that listen, like, take your money. You've taken every cent out of Zillow and you've put it in Realtor.com.
Not every cent. I still do buy some with Zillow because I don't believe in being beholden to a single golden goose, right? If you get all of your business from a single source, if that source can change. I've been buying online leads for 15 years from every site that's available. I've bought it, and they change. But right now, Realtor.com is crushing it, so we shifted the majority of our spend over there. The reason I think it's better is, Pat, in your career, you've gotten a lot of sign calls, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are sign calls your favorite lead you can get?
I agree with that. I think, right, because they're sitting out in front, they're calling about a specific house. Chances are especially if they're calling, then they're not, online on 12 different searches.
Correct. And so Realtor.com, and I can get into the details if you want to go deep. I don't know for certain, but they have created a secret sauce, which is generating leads that are like sign calls. These people are literally ready to go out and see houses and write offers like that day. I sold a property, and I don't take, so when I first started, back to this history of how did I start this up, I bought leads and I worked them myself. I was the inside salesperson and the agent, right? I was doing everything because I wanted to know what things were like, and I didn't do it that long before I scaled up to the team, but I wanted to know what the current real estate market was like, because you have to do it yourself before you can teach someone else. I truly believe that. If you want people to write things down, right? If you're listening along on this, pause the podcast, right? Go pause this. Okay. Did you turn it back on now? All right, cool. So when you so actually don't pause it yet. Go get a pen and piece of paper now. Pause it. Okay, now start again. Write this down. In order to teach something, you have to do it. And it's not always true. I know there's things that you can teach that people are great coaches that we can come up with examples of how. But however, in real estate, I see more people fail when they try to teach something they've never done, unless you leverage yourself with someone like yourself, Rebus University, I'm looking at it behind your head, where you can get the knowledge from someone who has done it, right? And then use that knowledge since you haven't actually done it yourself. Those are the only ways to do it if you haven't done it yourself. You agree?
Yeah, no, 100%. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why, I created Rebus University was, people are spending $5,000, $10,000 to fly out to Omaha, Nebraska, or Virginia Beach, Virginia, and shadow Chantel Ray or Jeff Cohn, where they could come on and shadow them for a couple $100 on Rebus University. And it's the same thing as what you're saying, allows you to, learn how to do it yourself, and then you could teach it. You learn it from somebody, then you do it, then you teach it.
That's it. So I was sitting in a mastermind, and those of you watching video, I'm wearing my casual Club Wealth polo today. I'm part of a real estate coaching mastermind company called Club Wealth, sitting in a mastermind room with 12 people. And we're going around the room talking about what's kicking butt. And this is right when I came back from Thailand. What's kicking butt and what's not. And 3 people said, my team is kicking butt with Realtor.com leads. And I said, tell me more about this. And at the break, because we were all very action-oriented people, by the break, the rest of the 8 of us who had not been buying them, I think at least half of us within 2 hours were on the phone buying buying Realtor.com leads to test them out. Because when you decide something's a good idea, I've always found the most successful people, ready, write this down, guys, the most successful people take action quickly. And it doesn't mean you have to think quickly. You could take months to decide on something, right? But from the moment you decide it's a good idea to when you put it into action, I've always found the most successful people have a very short time between when they decide it's a good idea and take action. And so I went out, bought Realtor.com leads, started working them myself, and within 2 weeks, I had one of them in escrow on a $1 million house in San Diego. I mean, it was literally, I picked up the phone, the leads came in, you call them quickly, we can get into the mechanics of how to work these online leads. I think I'm giving away with this podcast, we're giving away the script that I use to convert these leads. Right? That'll be in the show notes somewhere.
And we're going to put that in the toolbox, and we'll put it on Jesse's show notes too.
Cool. So we'll talk. We can go into that script wherever you want to go. But that's what I did. So I scaled it up.
Let's do it. Right? Okay. So, all right. So what you're calling? I'm a Realtor.com lead.
Yep.
Right. And you've got my information, right? What do you got? Name? You got my phone number? Is it required phone number?
Required phone number. So the lead's going to come in, and they're going to be asking for information on a specific property. Tip number 1, call quickly. Let's talk old school stats that most sales trainers reference. Yeah. Right, speed the lead. What's the stat that we've heard for years and years? The Harvard or the MIT study, they say call within how long, right?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anybody listening, by the way, if you're still waiting 5 minutes and thinking you're doing a good job, like you're pissing money down the drain.
5 seconds, right?
5 seconds. Well, 20 seconds is really is the
20
new,
seconds. Wow.
20 seconds is the new 5 minutes because, and this we can talk about also, but the way the industry is shifting, these mega teams, these massive teams are leveraging in-house call centers or going to outside call centers like a company in San Diego called Agentology that we work with to scrub leads and help set them up. They have an entire room full of people who are calling leads instantly. And if you're a solo agent buying leads, that's who you're competing against. And I don't mean that if you don't call them in 20 seconds, it's game over. Because if you have better skills and you do a better job than these call center people, you can call them a day later, 2 days later. As long as you get a hold of them, you can probably still capture that client because you're going to give them a better client experience. But there's no substitute for just being speed to lead.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox, and it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. That's okay. So I want to still talk about this. So to Agentology, tell me about that.
Agentology is run by, funny enough, it's actually run by a buddy of mine that I didn't even know it was his company. So they're based in San Diego. They are an outsourced inside sales associate. So if you guys talk about ISAs on this show, it's like having an ISA, but they're outsourced. Cost is anywhere from they've changed their pricing, but I think it's like $4 to $6 a lead. So depending on your lead volume, to me in San Diego, our commissions are fairly high. I'm not that price sensitive.
And they only charge you if they talk to someone, right?
No, they only charge you if you give the lead to them. So if they make a bunch of attempts to them and they don't talk to them, if you're paying them for any lead that's sent to them, you pay. So the way some people do this, if you get a couple hundred leads a month and your team does a really good job of getting on those leads immediately, you only send them to Agentology if your team hasn't reached them. That's one way to do it. If you're in a price point, and if you're in a market in this country where your average price is $150,000, you got to be a little more cautious of where you spend your money. If you're in San Diego, our average price point is $550,000. Average commission is $12,000. I can spend $4 a lead for every single lead we come in, and I run it concurrently with my team and Agentology get access to the lead at the same time, and whoever gets it first, great. All Agentology does, they scrub it, they find out when someone's ready. They're not actually booking the appointment. They're just saying this person raised their hand, wants to talk to an agent, and then they transfer it back to my team, who then gets a hold of that person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just wondering, how their close ratio is compared to your agent's close ratio, and if you track that, I don't know.
Yeah, so I haven't worked with Agentology. I haven't worked with Agentology long enough. I have friends who've been doing it longer, and they're crushing it. However, when you say close rate, I define two different things. And the short answer is my team is always going to be better. Always. There's no substitute for a team of agents who are licensed, who know the market, who know everything inside and out. And if they have good skills, I refer to our team as a highly trained group of sales ninjas, right? Like they show up.
Yeah.
Poof of smoke, little theatrics, do something rad and ninja-like, and then poof of smoke and they're gone, right? It's not like hardcore in your face, always be closing. No, that's old school. They're very like, whoa. It's theatrical, but it's subtle, and it's like, here we go, we're ninjas. So I think my
but the Agentology, and like Sam Monreal's been on the show a couple times, and he owns a Rocker Box. I think he's episode 500 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, probably very similar to Rockerbox, right?
Very similar to Rockerbox, except Rockerbox, correct me if I'm wrong, they are specific to the Boomtown platform, correct?
No,
Did
no.
they expand? Because they used to
Yeah,
only be
I believe
Boomtown.
so. I believe
Okay.
so.
So that's what, now they're probably very similar to Agentology. I just like Agentology because I've been to their office in San Diego. I've seen how they're set up. It's a super fun environment. They take a job that could be very monotonous, being on the phone all day long, and they've done this thing to make it fun. And their value proposition is not to say, we're going to book appointments for you. I think Rockerbox actually does book the appointment. What Agentology is saying, if you buy 100 leads or 1,000 leads and you don't have time to call all of them, we'll tell you who the good ones are. And that's what's been really effective, because if you have teams that get a high volume of these pay-per-click leads, we've been talking about Realtor.com, but let's say you buy a Google or a Facebook lead, which is someone who's usually a lot earlier on in the sales process. They could be 16 to 19 months out. It's very easy for agents to burn out on a high volume of lower quality leads. So this way you buy the cheap leads, right? So pay-per-click leads are running anywhere from $4 to $12 a lead. You buy a ton of cheap leads, you throw them into a call center like a Rockerbox or an Agentology. They can scrub them, and then you just get the good ones coming back to you. Does that make sense, Pat?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I love, obviously, is that if their goal is 20 seconds, I mean, that's half the battle right there. And the other half of the battle, how, like what happens? Like, they don't try to set the appointment, but they just try to find out, do you have a house to sell?
Yeah.
They're asking the hard questions, right? Are you working with an agent? Have you been pre-qualified by a lender?
That's it. They're warming them up. They're like, are you a hip hop fan at all? You're more a rock guy, right?
Yeah.
You're a hip hop fan. So you know in hip hop where there's the guy, there's the actual MC, and then there's the guy off stage who's like the hype guy who's like, yeah, woo, right?
Yeah.
They're like the hype guys. Yeah, they're the hype guy. They're the ones that just like.
I went to a rap concert a couple of months ago, and there's about 18 of them on stage.
There you go. So that's the role of the call center. They're just warming them up, getting them excited. They're not trying to book the appointment. You don't want them booking an appointment. You don't want them talking agent things. You want them talking about, the nice things, and then they turn them over to the agent who can do what agents do best. That's my belief.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's we don't want to leave people hanging here. So
let's do it.
Let's finish this with, finish our conversation, at least in this part of it.
Scripting. We were on scripting, right? All right, I got my script here, so this will be in the show notes. This is a universal callback script, which, giving credit to one of the first coaching programs I was part of, was Craig Proctor back in 2003. Remember the Craig Proctor script? I've tweaked this thing a bit, but it's really kind of the same script back from way back when. So here it goes. I'm calling you, Pat. Ready? Ring, ring.
Hey,
it's Jesse, Z-Team. I got your request about 123 Main Street. Did you have any specific questions about that home, or did you just want to set up a time to see it?
Oh, wow. Wow. How long has it been on the market, Jesse?
Very good question. Hold on a sec while I pull that up. Let's see. I'm just curious. Is this something for investment, or a home you're planning to live in?
Yeah, we would live in it.
Okay, cool. And are you guys looking in any other areas besides Claremont?
Yeah. We were looking over River Hill area, and before that Kings Contravance, but Claremont, is our favorite. Yeah.
Cool. River Hill, Kings Contravance, Claremont. And what's your ideal time frame to find your next place?
It doesn't have to be this year. But
okay.
It could be, we're flexible. We don't have to move. Obviously, we have a house to sell.
Cool. Totally respect that. And where's the house you guys are living in now?
We live over in Valley Mead.
Okay, cool. Valley Mead. And in the house that you guys are going to be buying, how many bedrooms do you need?
5.
5. All right, cool. 5 bedrooms. How many? You have 4 kids, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. How many bathrooms then you need for 4 kids?
Well, more the better.
Like 16? Are we talking 16, 17?
Yeah.
Okay. For 5 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms. Got it. No, realistically, more like 4 baths probably.
Yeah, 2, 3, maybe something like that.
Okay, so minimum of 2. And what price range you guys looking in?
Probably 600, 700 maybe.
Cool. So keep it 600 to 700. And in a perfect world, would you guys prefer to have your current home sold first, or would you feel more comfortable finding your next home before anything else?
Well, we'd probably rather find our next home because,
Okay.
we're kind of picky and, we don't want to be put out there with nowhere to live.
Be picky, man. Being homeless with 4 kids is a scary thought, right?
Exactly.
so, so,
Definitely don't want to be homeless.
yeah, so hey, I never like to step on anyone's toes. Do you guys have an agent you've been working with?
Not really. We met this lady at an open house and she's been sending us stuff in the email and calling us, but we're not committed to her.
Cool. Totally respect that. Tell me how this sounds. One thing we specialize in is helping to break down the process step by step. So in addition to everything in the MLS, we have some unique strategies to find off-market properties that are very different than what most agents do. And since you are looking like possibly about a year out, maybe it could be sooner, maybe it could be longer, we can also go over what to do and, more importantly, the mistakes to avoid when going through your home search. Does that sound helpful to you?
Well, the list of things to avoid, probably not, but the off-market properties, probably yes.
All right, cool. When's a good time to get together for about 15 minutes to take down your criteria? Are days or evenings better for you guys?
Yeah, I got to check with my wife.
All right, cool. And does she work days also?
No. She stays home with the kids.
Oh, cool. And do you work do you work like a normal 9 to 5, or what's your schedule like?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do this. Definitely talk to your wife. I have been married for long enough to know that's always a good idea to confirm with the spouse first. But why don't we do this? My schedule fills up pretty quickly. Let's just book a tentative time. Let's say today is what we're looking at, a Wednesday. Want to do something tonight at either 6 or tomorrow at 6. And then if that doesn't work for your wife, we just give me a text. We'll reschedule.
Want to put it down? Come to us because we got 4 kids. I mean, they're gonna be running around dinner time.
Well, that's let me do it. What time do your kids go to sleep?
8:30.
Is it too late for you guys to meet at 9 o'clock?
No, I mean, if you want to come over at 9 o'clock, that's fine.
I work all the time, man. Real estate never sleeps. Let's do 9 o'clock. We can do it with your kids there. I just find that's going to be a lot easier to focus. Again, there's no pressure to buy a house. Right? There's no, you can tell your wife when you talk to her, you're not committed to anything. I fully respect that it could be next week or it could be next year or 2 years. It doesn't matter to me when you buy a house. I just want to give you the best information possible in terms of how we use these strategies to find off-market properties. That way, when you are ready, you can make the best decision for you and your family. Sound good?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. So let's do 9 o'clock. Let's do 9 o'clock tonight. And if your wife has any issues, I'm going to shoot you a text now. What's your address on the place in Valley Mead?
Sure. 1477 Umpty Ump.
Perfect. And the rest of the script I can continue going if you want to hear it. You get the point.
So here's the thing. I just finished filming for Rebus University, the certified buyer agent, and we did it with the Orange Line team, Daniel Lesniak and Carrie Shaw out of Alexandria, Virginia, and I had a one-on-one with their head ISA, let's call him, and he told me beyond a shadow of a doubt that if any script, and he's been using different scripts for years, thousands of leads he dealt with, if any script worked so much better than the rest of the scripts out there, it was the off-market. And here you just pulled this off-market script. It's actually an old off-market script, or maybe you tweaked it, but they take it to another level, and I think you should too, in that, you don't want to be like, oh, well, I want to meet to get your criteria for the off-market. You almost want to imply that you have the off-market.
So can I address that?
You're gonna kind of bring it with you, or you have the ability to bring it with you. And then when we film the actual appointment, you're not actually, showing them this list or bringing out this list, but it's something like, it helps with the trade if you imply that this already exists, not that you're going to create it.
So can I address that? Because we actually used to do that. And I don't know the people that you referenced from that team. I'm sure they do a tremendous volume and are total rock stars, but I'll play devil's advocate because I believe that line of thinking and and verbalizing sets you up for a much tougher situation when you're face to face. It's easier to book the appointment when you tell them you have something that they really want. But what we found is when we used to say that, because I can read you our old gold brick. Let me pull it up actually.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. I think the confidence comes in actually having it.
Well, we do have a list. We have a list. I mean, I used to sell a lot of foreclosed homes. I still do have access to a ton of properties before anyone else, pre-market properties. And one of the agents on my team prints out a spreadsheet of our coming soon inventory and the inventory I get from all my other REO friends in San Diego. So we literally do have a list. The problem is you end up booking appointments with people who aren't really that motivated, just want this list, and it's kind of an uphill battle. So if we have to, I'll go that direction. But I find when we use this gold brick, that's what we call our close, and I throw in that part that you said you didn't really care about the mistakes and other things. And when I talk about the strategies that we use to find off-market properties, which I can tell you exactly what they are, we do have some unique strategies. That's not BS. But when we have that conversation, you now are walking in, sitting face to face, and you have an opportunity to talk about, find out what they want, how you can serve them, and then tell them how you're different than other people. Versus if you walk in and they're looking for the list, they're going to grill you. Give me the list. I want the list. I want to buy one of these. And you set yourself up. How many times, ask that team if you have, how many times when they sit down do people actually buy one of those homes from the list?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, but and we may have asked in the film. I have to go back and look, but let me ask you this: what are your strategies? Because we want to give them meat and potatoes here.
Here you go. You ready? Off-market properties. Number one, we set and this, by the way, happens after they hire us to be their agent, which looks like in the form of having a buyer agency agreement signed. Right? In our world, they're going to sign a buyer agency agreement, and then we're going to go into work for them. One thing we do is we mail out. So the reason we need their criteria is we go to our title rep and we create a list of 200 to 300 homes that match their criteria, and we do a set of 2 mailings to those owners to generate people that haven't listed yet but might be thinking about it. And believe it or not, we do get responses from those. The responses come in the form of like, I'm not ready now, but I might be later. So that's a listing lead, right? That's good for us. Or 2, we've actually put one together where they wanted to buy a condo in a certain complex. We sent 2 mailings to the complex, and we put together an off-market deal, like the true definition of real estate brokerage. So that's strategy 1. Number 2.
Okay, that's 1, yeah.
Yep. Number 2, networking with other top agents in the area. We'll pull a list in the MLS everywhere in the country. You can do this. Pick the neighborhood your client wants to go in, pull all the sales from the last year, sort it by the agent, the listing agent that has sold the most. They're the dominant agents. And then start calling all of them and go, hey, Mr. Smith, I know you sell a lot of homes in fill-in-the-blank neighborhood. Just curious, you got anything coming to the market soon? You'll be surprised how much you can find out from people who you think everyone wants to double end stuff. They just want to sell stuff. They're going to tell you what they got coming up. That's number 2. Number 3, networking groups in general. Go to your caravans, right? Go to talk to other people about pocket listings that are coming on the market soon. Number 4, calling expireds, canceled, withdrawns. And number 5, we don't go to that often, but door knocking. If we have time, we'll go door knock a neighborhood because it's great to get listings, and it really does help find people that don't answer their phone, text, or email, and you can find out about homes before they sell. How's that sound?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you can just start building your list. But I think that the mention of the list and the mention of anything like the what you mentioned, they're all what Floyd Wickman used to call fair trades. So the more fair trades you guys can have, the easier it is to lure that buyer in and close for that appointment, which would be something that you're going to give them in exchange for the appointment. So Jesse is going to give them, he's going to talk to them about the list. He's going to talk to them about the off market. He's going to give them some things in exchange for them coming over. And another thing I wanted to mention too, Jesse, was you were willing to go to their house at 9 at night. And I think a lot of agents have that backwards, in that they will only, meet a buyer, whether at the office or at a property or something like that. They only go to their house for listing appointments, where you said, no, I'm going to go there for a buyer appointment, which I thought was very great. I thought that was good. Yeah.
Yep. And the reason is why I went to their house, and let's address that, is because you had a house to sell. And even if you were a renter, I might still go out there, but because you have a house to sell, I want that appointment in your house because I want to be able to help you when you're ready to list that house. I got to be in your house. And you don't always have to be there. You can do it online, blah, 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 but there's still nothing like getting belly to belly. For me in my personal life, by the way, I don't take appointments at 9 o'clock at night. I got a 2-year-old. Family comes first. You and I have chatted about this before. I love your tattoo, by the way, right? Love is spelled T-I-M-E. I reference that all the time. It's such a cool tattoo. If you guys haven't seen it, it's got the colorful kids writing. I dig it. And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, Jesse's insane, he's going to meet a client at 9 o'clock at night, and that doesn't fit your lifestyle, schedule it for a different time. That's just where I went in that role play, assuming that I wanted to meat them at 9.
I think it's good. I think it's great. I mean, especially if you don't have any commissions.
Yeah.
Month or don't have enough buyers, or you want to close more. I mean, go to where they are. I used to do that. I used to meet people at listing appointments at their work, or listing appointments wherever I could. I'd be like, they're like, I can't get away. And I'm like, well, how about I come during lunch? All right. Where do you work? Well, I work at ABC Elementary School. I'm like, well, when's your lunch break? I'll come over there and we'll talk about listing your house, or buying or whatever. I'd rather be face to face with someone than, not.
Ready? Write this down, guys. If you want an affirmation, I said this to myself for years. What Pat is talking about is problem solving. And right, they're giving you a challenge. It's not an objection. They're not saying, I don't want to talk to you. They're just saying, I'm legit busy. It's a problem to solve. So my affirmation was, write this down, right? I am a creative, problem solving, solution oriented machine. And you can tweak that, but I am a creative, problem-solving, solution-oriented machine. I used to program my brain with that over and over and over for years, and now I just do that. When you were talking in the role play, I was just in the moment. And if you got kids, I don't want to do a listing appointment with 4 kids running around. I've done that. It's terrible.
Hey, Jesse, what software do you like now?
What software? Google
software
Drive
or phone apps?
Google Drive. Can I rely on Google Drive still?
Okay. So what do you use Google Drive for?
Everything. So, I mean, if this is too old and people have talked about it, no worries, but I find that smart, successful people still don't understand how powerful Google Drive is. We run our entire business from it. So instead of Dropbox, which is like a static file that you just upload and it lives there forever, Google Drive are living documents. I can collaborate in real time with anyone I give access to edit a spreadsheet or a document. I can also make changes. So all of my onboarding, every agent that joins my team, they onboard and they get a link to a Google Drive folder, which one of them is called Lead to Closing. It has webinars step by step going from every single step in the process. I kind of created my own little Rebus University. It's much smaller than what you're doing, but it's just this little step-by-step training. It's got 4 to 5 hours of recordings broken down in steps that my agents get a link to Google Drive and they just go through it. It's killer.
Wow. Okay. What about phone apps?
Phone apps. Let's look at my phone. We just built a new house. I've got an app that I can now open and close my garage door from an app. Does that count?
What about for your agents, for your business?
Commissions Inc. still. So I'm a Commissions Inc. guy. That's my database, my platform. I'm looking through my phone here. Really, half my business is done by the Commissions Inc. app. That's not like something everyone can download, obviously, though. So let's see if there's something cool and techie that's on my phone right now. New things. Oh, Omvana. Do you get hippie on this podcast? Is that too weird?
Say go whatever. Just tell me, what do you got?
Omvana. 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 It's a meditation and hypnotism app that has all these gurus and people you can get in there. It's very cheap per month, and you want to program your brain like I'm talking about. You can do guided meditation. You can program yourself for wealth, success, luck, whatever you want to program yourself for. There's guided meditations and self-hypnosis on it. Super cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, Jesse, this has been great, buddy. Tell me about the free gift that you're going to offer our guests, or free gifts that we're going to put, number one, in our agent success toolbox, but number two, we're going to put on your show notes, which is going to be hibandigital.com/Jesse, JASSEZ.
JESSE.
Yeah. JESSEZ, the letter Z, 2, the number 2. Jesse Z2. What do you got, buddy?
All right, so 2 links will be in there. Is there room for 2 links in the show notes?
No, absolutely. Hey, give us as many as you want.
All right, cool. So number 1, I just sent this in a link to you, Pat, is going to be the universal callback script. That's the same script I just ran with you.
Thank you.
And so that is in there. And then you've got the second one is our buyer packet. So when we meet that buyer face-to-face for that initial appointment, we run through another script. And it's both a form to take notes on and a checklist that keeps you organized. So my entire buyer packet, we'll have a link in there as well, so you can kind of structure yourself when you get face-to-face with that client.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And guys, I'm going to also put those on www.hibandigital.com/toolbox. And of course, you could always get the full toolbox, Jesse stuff, plus all the other things from other guests by texting toolbox to 444-999. Jesse, you've been awesome, buddy. Best of luck to you.
Can I wrap with one thing for you?
Yeah, go
I just
for it,
want to say, because we were kind of going back and forth on those scripts, right? Like, what's the right close? What I love is there is no right answer, right? Anyone listening, test it out. Try it out. Try one, then try the other. And the brilliant thing about Rebus University is you have these brilliant trainers who are giving you variations that you can go take and try in your own life. I love it. I just love what you're creating, Pat. I'm grateful to be on the show. Truly, I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse. Hey, if I'm ever in San Diego, I will look you up. And guys, if you have any referrals to the San Diego area, you know the guy. Oh, Jesse, by the way, yeah, tell me about that chicken that went viral.
Oh, that was a good one. So if you send if you're an agent somewhere else in the country and you send a referral to me, I'm likely to do something fun for you, because I just think life should be fun. So I had an agent in Southern California who sent a referral that we're now out showing him houses, $800,000 home, super great client, really nice. And the agent is part of a team that has a Monday morning meeting in person. So all 15 people on their team get in a room Monday morning. So I knew this. So I hired a singing telegram in the form of a grown man dressed in a chicken suit to show up on his team meeting. So if you look on Facebook, we actually did Facebook Live of this moment. He had no idea what was going to happen. No one in the room did. Even the team leader had no idea. I just said, turn on Facebook Live and be ready for something cool at 9 a.m. on Monday. So this chicken walks in, and he's kind of a funny, sarcastic guy, and he's singing songs. And at the end, he says, thank you from, this is a thank you from Jesse Zagorsky, Live, Love, San Diego Homes. But this video had 4,000 views in the first day. It went viral. It's going through our little real estate community with no ads, no promotion. People just thought it was the funniest thing to send a grown man in a chicken suit. So if you have a buyer or a seller in San Diego County and you'd like a grown man in a chicken suit to come to your office, let me know. There you go.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. All right, boss. Well, I'll be talking to you soon then.
Sounds good, Pat. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching Real Estate Rockstars. Please give us a review wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. We eat feedback for breakfast, and I don't care whether you give me a 1-star review or a 5-star review. I just want the review. I want to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Would love to improve things. Hey, and listen, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get and the more reviews we get, the better guests we'll get for you in the future. Feel free to reach out to me anywhere on social media. Just type in my name. I'm everywhere, and I look forward to meeting you in the digital world. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Real Estate Rockstars.